Hello, sons and daughters of men. Welcome to this channel and welcome to this video. And like the theme and topic of this video states, we are going to explore a mystery that most people have never been taught or overlooked. A deeper look into the identities of Lucifer and Jesus, beyond what we have traditionally understood or beyond the organized religious dogma. The Bible describes Lucifer in forms that may surprise you. Yes, as a man, as a cherub, and even in forms of higher beings and personalities and entities. But here is where it gets even more interesting. When we begin to examine Jesus through the same lens, we start to see patterns that reveal a much bigger picture. We're going to make these comparisons to the end that we're going to see why Jesus' death is applicable and relevant to all forms of existence and manifestations, from the high heavens to the lower earth. Is it possible that there are deeper dimensions to these beings? Could the scripture be pointing to something more complex than we have been told? In this video, we are carefully walking through the scriptures, connecting the dots and exploring the hidden parallels between Lucifer and Christ. Not to confuse, but to understand. If you are ready to see the Bible from a perspective you've probably never considered before, then please stay with us. Also, please like and subscribe. This will also help us a lot. It will prompt YouTube algorithm to suggest our videos to more people. And with this being said, let's begin. Our theme scripture will be taken from Romans chapter 5, from verse 17 to 19. For if by one man's offense death reigned by one, much more they which receive abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness shall reign in life by one, Jesus Christ. Therefore, as by the offense of one, judgment came upon all men to condemnation, even so by the righteousness of one, the free gift came upon all men unto justification of life. For as by one man's disobedience many were made sinners, so by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous. Who is this one man referred to in our anchor scripture? Let's start with verse 17. Who is this one man that brought in death? I know our traditional understanding on first glance, reading the aforementioned verse, will be that the scripture is referring to Adam. Yes, that is also true. Because when you read from the context of the author, you will see that it is indeed referring to Adam. But beyond the obvious narration, beyond the obvious context, there are mysteries that are being hidden here. If we indeed believe that the scripture is a history book, and just like every other historical account, let us uncover, let us investigate this history, these primordial histories. Let us dig deep into the esoteric realities that are being encoded in the scripture. So, again, I ask, who is this man of death? Who is this man who seems to make death reign? Because when you look at the verse 17 again, there are not two characters in that Bible verse. There are actually three characters in that Bible verse. Now we all know the two characters already, but I'm here to unveil the third, because it is one thing to bring death, and it is another thing to receive death. Adam didn't go anywhere to bring death. Death was given to him. He received it by reason of his obedience to a certain person and his disobedience to God's instructions. So who is this man that brought him death? Well, from revelatory insights and critical thinking, we could deduce that this one man, is indeed Lucifer. Now, if you say it's Adam, yes, you are also not far from the truth. That is also implied. But Lucifer, from the divine substructure of this Bible verse, is the one man that is referred to. This one man who brought in death, and Adam received that death by his obedience to him, to the one man. And through that one man, and through that obedience to that one man, Adam got infected, and sin thrived through him, Adam, to his descendants, as stated in verse 14 of the same chapter. So from the surface context, Paul's one man is Adam. That is consistent with verse 12 to 14, where Paul directly links sin and death to Adam's trespasses. But by divine substructure, by spiritual implications at large, Adam was not an independent originator of sin. He was just a conduit through which death entered humanity, mankind, and planet Earth by extension. Adam becomes the receiver and not the giver of death. In John chapter 8 verse 44, Jesus says, "The devil was a murderer from the beginning." Murder here isn't just physical killing. It is the introduction of spiritual death. So, this is a two-layered interpretation. I call it the multi-contextuality of the scripture. So, in the literal context, the one man in Romans chapter 5 is Adam, the head of mankind, whose sin spread death to all. But the underlying spiritual context, the original man of death here, is Lucifer, the first to rebel and bring death particles and essence into the Adamic world. Adam's sin was a downstream effect of Lucifer's deception. But you would say, is Lucifer a man? Well, this is the point where we start digging. In Ezekiel 28 from verse 2 to 9, Lucifer was referred to here by God himself as a man. And in Isaiah chapter 14 verse 16, it reads, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?" Now, it doesn't get clearer than this, but we'll discuss more on this Ezekiel chapter 28 in subsequent episodes. But now that we have briefly established the idea of Lucifer being a man, let's go deeper, because that's only the surface. From the scripture, Lucifer is not confined to a single form, identity, or manifestation. For across scriptures and symbolism, his presence unfolds in layers, sometimes obvious, often hidden, but always profound. What if the figure we think we understand is actually expressed through multiple dimensions, roles, and personalities? This is why we are taking our time, because to truly grasp this mystery, we must carefully explore the different forms and manifestations and identities through which Lucifer is revealed scripturally, each one unlocking a deeper level of understanding. And now, having said this, let's look at Lucifer as a cherub. See you in part 2 of this series.